Go.
Hi, my name is John Blanchard. I will be your instructor today. We're going to walk through the Concept2 Model E with PM4 ergonometer today. There are several parts of this machine, one of which is the fan. The fan is what creates the resistance for the rowing stroke, and then it has a damper setting. The damper setting has a 10 to 1. 10 is harder, much like a bicycle. This is the hardest gear, which means it's harder to pull and less strokes per minute. The 1 is the easier gear, much easier to pull, and you've got to get a higher stroke rate in order to maintain speed. Generally, the water is about a 4. Newer rowers, we start out at a 3, so that's about medium resistance. Alright, next we're going to move down from front to back. We're going to move to the handle. This is the handle. This is what simulates the 4 handles of the Earth. And the stove. This is the Performance Monitor 4. And it has several settings. There's the Just Row. And in the Just Row, you've got different quadrants. In the upper right quadrant is the strokes per minute, which tells you how many strokes you're doing per minute. It's your time, overall time. Your splits, which then the erg will calculate each stroke and tell you if you continue at that power and that stroke rate, how quickly you'll be able to move through 500 meters. And then there's your meters. And then that's your average throughout the rowing piece, and your splits per meter, and your projected finish. If you set a time, it'll tell you your projected finish. There's also the change display where you can look at what your meter, what your stroke looks like. Your pace boat, if you want to maintain a pace boat, and your watts. So it'll tell you how many watts you're doing. And then, in case you have challenges with eyesight, you want the bigger display. That's the preferred one. You can also change the units from 500 meter splits to watts to calories per hour. Moving back, we call these the foot stretchers or the foot straps. You can set these to different heights depending on the size of your foot. Generally speaking, you want to set this where the strap is running across your toes. And both are adjustable. You got the monorail, and you have the seat. These are the components of the Concept2 Model E erg. And then what we're going to do is going to walk through how you take it apart. To take the Concept2 apart, what you do is you will lift up on this piece, and then you will gently break it apart. As you can see, it comes apart relatively easily and goes back together again during the same manner. You will set the bottom of this onto the rail, and then you will merely tilt it down until it locks in. You push down, and then you can check to make sure that it is properly secured. Maintenance, you can check all your bolts to make sure that all your bolts are tightened. And you can make sure your chain is nice and clean and lubricated as well. Are there any questions about the Concept2 Model E? No questions? Alright, well, we'll move on to the rowing stroke.